I'll stalk your socials till my eyes are numb. You don't even know how much I need your heart. I'll see all your reposts and what's on your mind, because I cannot date you. You want another guy.
Hello. I am Garbitur90. This video will cover all spectrum of Halo Wars 2. Possibly the greatest strategy game to ever grace the earth in its majestic beauty. But there lies one problem. But how do I play it? Halo Wars 2 is a coliseum. A coliseum of degenerates and the unemployed, trying their best to just waste their time on meaningless matches that I also participate in. Which is why I hold the key to success to teach you guys about many tips and tricks and strategies about how to make your enemy not want to play the game. The first tip to learn is to keep your units alive, because it does sound simple, but as Sun Tzu actually quoted this, he said, regard your soldiers as your own, such as that like of your children. And that is very important in Halo Wars 2, of course, because Sun Tzu, he always knew that if you keep your units alive, they gain veterancy in increments of 3. And that is also true in Halo Wars 2. So how it works is that veterancy, as it increases by 1, 2, or 3, it raises the damage of said unit and resistance, of course. And essentially, the higher veterancy your army is, the more resilient you are, and the less chance the enemy team has to destroy you. And most likely, you steamroll them 90% of the time if you have a higher veterancy army, which is very beautiful to see, and it doesn't make you angry. A second tip I would omit, I don't know what that word means, but I would say that we should always be prepared for any sort of leader ability to be dropped on your head. You see, 90% of the time, when your enemy sees your big fat army grouped up together, they love to glass it or Mac blast it. It's actually horrible. So you want to try to keep your units spaced out in preparation in case of an attack from above, of course. And of course, always be prepared for, if you're against Covenant, for a glassing beam for that army split, so your army doesn't get wrecked. Surprise your enemy, of course, because surprised enemies are usually very panicked, and they make mistakes, and when they make mistakes, you often win. Okay, so this last tip is a very important one. Maybe, debatably, possibly one of the most important ones you can know is you gotta remind yourself to constantly, and I mean constantly, scout your enemies as much as you possibly can, because you never really know what they're making, and if you know your enemy well, you can easily counter them before they even get their army started and steamroll them. Scouting can also help you know if you're gonna get rushed, if someone's going mass air, if they're doing any scummy tactic, you can easily find out by scouting. The first battle tactic I would like to show off is the poor man's nuclear bomb. And sadly, it's only really usable on Covenant leaders, which only have teleport. And it works best early game. And essentially what it involves is I usually go with 5 suicide grunts, but you can choose how many you want. But you especially need an enemy army and the element of surprise to pull it off. What you gotta do is you have to lure over the enemy army in some way, somehow, or just bait them out with anything really. And once you have line of sight on them, you spring the trap, and you teleport the suicide grunts over. Ultimately, just pure annihilation happens. Usually it's better than a glassing beam at some points, because
how fast the suicide grunts are and how quickly they explode. And it's honestly brutal to any enemy team that encounters it, because in the early game, if you use it on them, it's quite an easy dominant move to claim all the nodes, spread out across the map, just overall fuck them up. And it's a really sad thing to see overall. To be honest, the only real sad part about this tactic is that the Sui Grunt tactic is not really able to be used late game. It's an early game tactic, and because early game, most of the time, people aren't even upgraded to tier 2, and they haven't taken any of the nodes, so they just have like a really poopy grunt or marine army, and they're really susceptible to just getting destroyed. And it uses up all their early game resources trying to rebuild their army back. And really, to quote Sun Tzu, actually, he said, "To use the suicide grunts is to use the wrath of God." Another wise battle tactic I'd love to share is always be prepared for a rush. And for all those little poor noobs that don't know what a rush is, it's essentially early game when your enemy devotes entirely, like their soul, their body, every single particle on Earth to just attacking you early game when you're not prepared. Just every single resource pumped into building an army. So what it entails is usually the army will consist of 90% of the time with UNSC, to be specific. It will have a bunch of Hellbringers, a little bit of Marines, and sometimes snipers if they're truly a part of Satan's greatest soldiers. And for Covenant, it usually consists of jump pack brutes, and that's mostly it, and a leader probably. But if rushing is such a dominant way to play the game, why don't people usually play it? And that counterpoint is that it's just not fun to play against, and it makes you feel like a dickhead for doing it. And it's just morally wrong, because 90% of the people you rush are just unexperienced players. I mean, when it works, it's just an unexperienced player that doesn't know how to prepare for it, and it just hurts to see. So you gotta always be prepared for a rush from any type of enemy. The most common person I've seen rush, or leader, I mean, is Kinsano, Johnson, and Cutter, and also Warded. But to prepare against rushes, what you should do is, obviously, early game, you need to make turrets, and probably, if you're Covenant, do the Suicide Grunt tactic, as mentioned previously. It's an amazing counter to rushing. It works like just amazingly, swimmingly. But also, probably make a leader, because it builds up veterancy, and combined with the turrets, it'll wipe out, it'll just make it so they can't attack the base without losing their entire army, and essentially they'll just not be able to complete what they do. Okay, for this last and final tip that I have here today, I would honestly say, if you have a teammate that you're playing with, like any friend or anything, just, I'm gonna put this bluntly, don't be nice to them. Just tell them they're doing horrible, like make fun of them when they make mistakes. Just do everything in the book. Just make sure they hate you. They hate this game. Make sure they never want to play this game again, because honestly, it is torture. It is torture to play Halo Wars 2 against so many sweats and evil people. And honestly, you should just not let anybody any new people who want to play the game. Don't let it happen. Don't let them enjoy it. Just stop it. Just don't allow them to have fun on this game. So it's for their good. If they don't play it, if they don't want to play this game, because Halo Wars 2 is some sort of evil game that thrives on your misery. So please don't allow any new victims to come into this cycle.
I'll stalk your socials till my eyes are numb. You don't even
Hello.
know how much
This
I
is
need your
Garb, the 90, as they don't call me that. But, I would just like to say thank you to everybody watching. It was a very laborious video to make, and to be honest, I had a lot of fun making it. Looking at all the funny clips, showing it to my bro, just everything overall. I just love Halo Wars 2. What can I say? It's one of my most played games of probably not all time, but for me a lot of time, honestly. And to be honest, I really wish I had a Halo Wars 3 or Microsoft would make it. But other than that, just let me know anywhere what you want to see from me next. I love you. Goodbye.